I'm Ashley, and this is the Maverick Mompreneur podcast, where you're free and encouraged to own your desire to create and scale an impactful, discoverable online brand and business, a business that's aligned with your mission, lifestyle desires, personality, and zone of genius without wasting your time on the hustle and grind hamster wheel that is social media. Can I get an amen? Sis, you are a maverick, an original, willing to stand out in your authenticity, defy expectations, and do life and business outside the box. In our world, if it's not aligned with who we are, it's a hard pass or a brave pivot. So if you're here for the powerful identity shift and transformation from boss babe or boss mom to aligned CEO, building a one-of-a-kind, influential, hustle-free online business that will produce long-term impact and multiple streams of income while building yourself in the process, well, pop in those AirPods, grab that cup of coffee or glass of wine, and let's get growing. Hey friend, welcome back to the Maverick Mompreneur podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurial mindset, business, and all the strategies that actually move the needle in your brand, business, and life. And today we're going to talk about something that I know so many of you probably also struggle with. I know personal friends of mine do. I know members and clients do. And that is waking up at 3 a.m. for no apparent reason. If you are like, yes, girl, I do that too, and you found yourself wide awake in the middle of the night, you're not able to fall back asleep, maybe you scroll on your phone, or you read a book, or you just lay there mad at yourself for being awake, then this episode is going to be a game changer for you, because this isn't random. I've been researching. This is actually a biological and psychological response, and once we understand why this happens, you can actually take back control and start getting the deep, restful sleep that you need and stop this cycle. So by the end of this episode, you're not only going to know why this happens, but you're going to have a strategy, a step-by-step strategy, in fact, to fix it. So you can wake up refreshed, focused, and ready to take on the day as an entrepreneur. So let's get into it. So what the heck is up with 3 a.m.? So let's talk about the science behind this whole 3 a.m. wake up call that's so annoying. Do you ever notice how you don't randomly wake up at 11 or 6 a.m., but it's always around 3 to 4 a.m.? There's actually a reason for that. So during the night, our body cycles through different sleep stages, including deep sleep and REM sleep, but around 3 a.m., we reach a natural cortisol spike, the hormone that's responsible for stress and alertness. There's like a cortisol dump right around that time. This is according to a study from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. I am not a scientist. Cortisol levels start to rise in the second half of the night to help prepare your body for waking up. But here's the thing. If you are under stress, hello entrepreneurship, you're dealing with uncertainty, hello entrepreneurship, even if the rest of your life is going well, or experiencing a big life or business change, your cortisol levels spike even higher than normal at that time. And that's when you wake up, because your brain is actively searching for solutions to whatever it is that feels unresolved in your life, business, etc. So this is why you wake up at 3 a.m. thinking about the business decision that you need to make, a conversation that didn't go the way that you wanted to, a fight that you're having with your significant other, uncertainty of what's coming next in your life, a problem that your child is having. Your brain isn't trying to torture you. It's literally trying to problem solve. And that's the time it chooses to do it, which is really freaking annoying. And the problem is, if you don't give it a clear strategy to latch onto, it's just going to keep waking you up and doing that. So you probably notice when you are more stressed, this is more likely to happen. There's something that makes this even more complicated, but also to me more interesting. And that's that your brain sees change, any kind of change. This can be good, this can be bad, this can be indifferent, but any change as a potential threat. So even positive things like starting a new business, launching a new course, scaling to 6 figures, scaling to 7 figures, hiring a virtual assistant or a team member, positive things like that. But at a subconscious level, your brain isn't differentiating between good stress and bad stress. It just sees and notices a shift happening. And if it doesn't have a plan, it perceives that shift as danger. And what is its number one job? Keep you safe. So that's why if you're going through some kind of big transition, if either personally or professionally, you're more likely to wake up at 3 a.m. Your brain's saying, hey, we don't have a strategy for this. Like, we need to figure it out. Come on, get up, girl, figure this out. So how do we fix this? And this is something that I stumbled across by doing it and not knowing why it worked. But now I'm like backward mapping. Oh, right. This is why this works. So now this is why I'm teaching you this. So you need to give your brain what it's asking for, which is a clear plan to navigate this change. Like, you're doing it, but how are you going to do it? So here's a 3-step process to do just that. At some point, definitely before you go to bed, so before your head hits the pillow, instead of letting your mind wake you up and run wild and cuckoo at 3 a.m., take 10 minutes before bed out of your day at some point to download all of your thoughts onto paper. So write down any big decisions or challenges that you've got on your plate. List out the possible solutions. So next steps, even if it's not perfect, just possible solutions. So you're telling your brain, we're working through this. Thanks, my dear. You can let me sleep. And then end with one next step or 2 or maybe 3, but definitely one that you can take tomorrow to make a move, to create momentum. And this is going to tell your brain, I got this. I have a strategy, so I don't need you to wake me up. And this is backed up by research. So one study from Baylor University, their sleep neuroscience lab, found that people who wrote down their to-do list before bed fell asleep faster and woke up less frequently during the night. So brain dump it out. What I use is the self-management productivity matrix, and I actually do this at the end of my work day, and I dump out all of the things that I need to do for work and also in my personal life, and then I categorize them into these 4 quadrants. I'm not going to go over that here. I will link the episode where I talk about that matrix that I use and that I teach to my members and my clients, and I'll also link I believe it's free. If it's not free, it's like really low ticket. I'll link the training and then the matrix form if you want to try that out too. I found that to be massively helpful. I've been doing that for about 2 years now, every single day. Weekends, usually not. I usually do Friday and then that's for the following Monday, but it gets everything out of my brain and I do not wake up at 3 a.m. anymore. I really, truly don't, unless there is something in my personal life that I've neglected to face. Work-wise though, I do not wake up at 3 a.m. with this issue hardly ever. And I used to all the time. The second way that you could fix this is to reframe the way that you're looking at stress. Instead of seeing change as a stressor, train your brain to see it as growth. So I feel like I've been heavy into research for you on this one, but Stanford University has a study that showed that people who viewed stress as a challenge rather than a threat had lower cortisol levels. Remember, that's the chemical that spikes and dumps at 3 a.m. to help us wake up. And they performed better under pressure. So viewing stress as a challenge, as a way to grow rather than a threat. So what you can do is give yourself a mantra and you can write this down and maybe read it before bed, but something along the lines of, this change is happening for me, not to me. Every challenge I face is leading me to my next level. Again, this change is happening for me, not to me. Every challenge I face is leading me to my next level. And that is absolutely true, but your brain listens to what you tell it. It's not differentiating between, oh, she's lying to me. Oh, she doesn't really fully believe that. Just tell your brain that, even if you do feel a little bit nervous, but train your brain, tell your brain it's listening to you. Okay, this is kind of a funny one, but it actually works really well. And when I used to not follow this, I was like Overthinkers Anonymous level doing the opposite of this. So when you wake up at 3 a.m. and your brain is in that kind of problem-solving overdrive mode, the ironic part is that the part of our brain apparently that makes decisions, which is the prefrontal cortex. Okay, I'm not a neuroscientist, but this is from my research. It's barely active at that time. So your brain is like, oh, solve this problem. But your brain is also like, I'm not even awake in the area that needs to make decisions. So this means any decisions you make at 3 a.m. are almost always irrational, based on fear, worst case scenario type of thinking. So here's the rule. If it's not life or death, no major decisions get made between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. When you wake up, you're going to tell yourself, this is just my brain on cortisol dump, and the solution is going to come to me in the morning. And that's going to help you to relax and fall back asleep better. You're just training your brain. No, girl, we are not making decisions on cortisol brain. Thank you. I will come up with a solution tomorrow. I'm going to sleep. I honestly used to wake up at 3 a.m., 3 to 3:30 almost every night, and I would cycle through all of the what ifs in work, in my personal life, in my finances, every single area, and it felt impossible to turn it off, and I wouldn't even try. I would just stay awake. So then I started doing techniques like brain dumping things out and having everything out on paper with a plan, with at least one next step. Thinking about stress and change as an opportunity for growth, thinking about failure as an opportunity for growth. So kind of eliminating the things that can feel stressful that are honestly inevitable as entrepreneurs and as human beings living on earth. And then making a no decision rule at night. And now I sleep through the night. I occasionally wake up, but I never wake up and stay awake with decision-making type of thinking. That never happens anymore. And so I really hope that this is something that you apply to your life if that is the case for you, because your 3 a.m. wake-ups are not random. They're a signal and your brain's asking you for clarity. It's asking you for strategy, direction. So when you start implementing these steps, you're not only going to sleep better, but you'll wake up every morning feeling clear and calm and focused and ready to take action with that calm nervous system. And if you need help with next steps in your business, that is absolutely what I'm here for. And that's one of the major reasons why I created the Maverick Society membership, which if you want more high-level coaching, strategy, and support to help you with next steps as you build your business, that's a great place to be, because you not only get weekly live coaching calls where I help you with your biggest business and entrepreneurial mindset type of challenges, but you get a group where you can ask questions any day of the week, Monday through Friday. If it's just like a little, what do I do next? And I'll either give you written feedback or I'll direct you to the step-by-step framework that we have within the membership, so you always know where to turn, what to work on next. And that's going to help you massively as an entrepreneur to have that regulated nervous system and hopefully sleep through the night. So right now you can still try out the membership for $1 for a full 7 days. So hopefully you'll accept my gift to you and just jump in there, try it out, peruse around, get a feel for it, and hopefully you'll stay and receive that support so that you never have to guess what to do next. I would love to see you in there. There's a link in the show notes as always, or you can head to elevatedwithashley.com/membership. I think that is all for today. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, keep taking action, keep sleeping through the night, and I will see you next week. And until then, cheers to your impact. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a ton of value. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you would rate, subscribe, and review this podcast. It really helps push out the message that I have to share with other female entrepreneurs. Thank you so much.